from the station you count on for local news that matters. This is KARK4 News at 10.
At approximately 11:38, 911 calls were received that there was an active shooting situation at the Mad Butcher grocery store in FORDYCE.
A quiet Friday morning, violently interrupted.
Unfortunately, we can confirm that 11 innocent civilians were shot.
Cries of heartbreak from victims' families quickly replacing the sounds of gunshots.
She want my baby back.
A tragedy people in a city of just over 3,000 never saw coming.
When you think something like this happening, you think of the bigger cities, but it's in our back door.
It just has you scary because, you just don't know what to do anymore.
Now the sense of peace that was once there is crumbling down around the small town.
And these people had a family, and I hope they realize they done destroyed a community today.
A devastating day unfolding in the small town of Fordyce. A gunman shooting and killing 3 people, injuring 10 others at a local grocery store. Thanks for joining us at 10. I'm Bob Clausen.
And I'm Laura Monteverde. We're glad you're with us tonight. Police say they began to get calls about an active shooter around 11:30 this morning at the Mad Butcher, located in the mall shopping center on 4th Street. We know one officer was shot, another injured. Both are expected to be okay.
State police say the suspect, who was also shot by law enforcement, has non-life-threatening injuries and is in police custody this evening.
We have multiple crews live tonight. We'll hear from the family of one of the victims and reactions from people who were there to witness it all unfold, along with more details on the suspected shooter.
First, we want to check in with Talisa Hampton. She's been in Fordyce all day long. She's joining us there this evening. And Talisa, tell us how this all began to unfold this morning.
Well, the scene here in Fordyce might look completely different right now, but earlier it was shock and dismay for many in this community after that mass shooting that happened here today. So many telling us that this was the worst day of their life.
It's scary to be here in our city, in Fordyce, our city, to have something like this to happen.
The small town of Fordyce, Arkansas was sent into a state of panic on Friday when bullets started to fly. Of the shooting captured on video by this viewer sending it to us. Arkansas State Police say around 11:30 a.m. calls came in about a shooting at the Mad Butcher grocery store in Fordyce. More than a dozen people were shot or injured. 3 people were killed.
I ain't seen this since I was in the military. People low enough to ride by and shoot at innocent people. You know what scum is? That's what floats on top of sewage.
2 police officers were injured but are expected to be okay. Officials with the Ouachita County Sheriff's Department say the suspect is identified as 44-year-old Travis Posey. The sheriff says Posey was grazed in the head. His injuries non-life-threatening.
Law enforcement responded immediately and exchanged gunfire with a lone suspect.
As police have Posey in custody, Tina Jackson says her brother was one of the victims shot.
He's going to be okay. We got Grace shot in the head, but it just has you scary because you just don't know what to do anymore.
As police investigated, caution tape surrounded a huge area and multiple shell casings on the ground. Some people seen hugging each other, while others were thankful that they made it out of the shooting alive.
I didn't realize nobody was shooting until I got out and the bullets was bouncing off the car.
Ronald Clayton says he and his wife were in the car in the parking lot of the store when chaos began.
But it's kind of hard to explain when you pull in the grocery store and somebody shoots at you 21 times.
Thankful neither of them were injured.
The good Lord was looking after us.
Although police didn't give any details as to what led to the shooting, Jackson warns others as she hopes nothing like this happens again.
This should be an eye-opening for anyone.
And it also should be noted that the road here in front of the store, that's back open. There's no longer caution tape, no longer that large police presence that we saw earlier. Now we've only seen a couple of police cars patrolling the area. Now, again, in that press conference that they had this afternoon, they did say they're in the early stages of this investigation, so more should be coming out in release soon. We'll make sure to keep you updated on air and on our website. Reporting in Fordyce, I'm Talisa Hampton. Back to you.
Lisa, thanks very much. Certainly things may look normal, but will be some time before Fordyce is back to normal. 44-year-old Travis Posey has been identified as the suspect in the shooting. He is in jail tonight.
Gary Burton Jr. is live tonight in Washita County, where Posey is being held. Gary, what more can you tell us about him?
Well, 44-year-old Travis Eugene Posey is from the small town of New Edinburgh, Arkansas, and he was booked here at the Washita County Detention Center on first-degree murder charges at a little before 6:30 this afternoon. Now, I spoke with Washita County Sheriff David Norwood, who says Posey was immediately transported by hospital to UAMS in Little Rock after booking. He says Posey was grazed in the head during the shooting. Now, Posey is accused of shooting 11 civilians, killing 3 of them, and also shooting 2 law enforcement officers at the Mad Butcher grocery store in Fordyce. Now, Fordyce is located in Dallas County, but as I mentioned, Posey was transported and booked here in Washita County. Sheriff Norwood didn't make a clear answer as to why Posey was brought here to Washita County, but he said that keeping the suspect safe is the responsibility of the Sheriff's Department. Now, Posey is charged with 3 counts of capital murder, and according to the Arkansas State Police, additional charges are pending. We'll be sure to keep you updated on the status of Travis Eugene Posey. Live in Washita County, I'm Gary Burton Jr.
Gary, thank you for that update. In the wake of mass tragedy, 3 families are feeling a deeper pain: the loss of a loved one at the hands of a gunman.
Katrin Asaf joining us now at the workplace of one of those victims. Katrin, this is obviously very tragic and devastating for them tonight. Walk us through what they told you, and also, and I'm not sure if you're hearing from law enforcement yet or if it'll come in the coming days, but do we know why Posey was shooting, who his intended target may have been? Some questions still yet to be answered, it seems.
Yeah, Bob, Laura, that's exactly right. There are a lot of questions that are still left to be answered and information that we are working to learn more. We don't have anything confirmed in terms of why that shooter did end up opening fire, and we are still hoping to try and get more information there. But I can tell you that here, people are just grieving. In fact, the family I spoke to could be called inconsolable. We're here in front of the Dallas County Medical Center. This is where I met the parents of a 23-year-old victim who not only worked in this building, but this is also where she drew her final breath.
I checked Callie's location because good old Life 360.
When Helen Browning first got word that there had been a mass shooting in Fordyce,
and it showed she was at the hospital,
her first instinct was to check on her daughter.
I'm thinking she's at work. She come in to help. She was in town.
23-year-old Callie Weems, a nurse at the Dallas County Medical Center.
Maybe she was there and she got wounded. My baby's fine.
With a busy tone from the hospital and radio silence from Callie, Helen and Callie's stepfather, Bruce Grice, rushed to the scene, only to be met with the horrific truth. Callie wasn't a provider that day, but a patient.
My best friend was standing right there, and I said, Christy, tell me my baby's okay. And she said, I can't. And that's when I just broke.
Callie Weems, mother to 10-month-old Ivy, had been shot and killed while grocery shopping. The victim of a mass shooting her parents can't wrap their heads around.
I just want to know why Joey Posey woke up this morning and decided he needed to go ruin family's life.
The grief goes deeper. Of the 3 killed in the gunfire, Helen and Bruce are related to 2.
Our niece's dad was in there also, and he's no longer with us. So that's a double whammy to our family.
From silence to nothing but noise.
This is evil and senseless.
As phones ring with alerts over and over, reliving the tragedy with every text and call. But now Helen has a new call to make: how to raise her granddaughter, suddenly left without a mother.
Ivy was her saving grace, just as she was mine. And now Ivy gets to be my saving grace, too.
And I want to leave you with something that Bruce said. He said he's thankful. He is thankful to God that they had those 23 years together with Callie, even though her life was cut short. Just an incredible message to send that after all this tragedy, he still is finding the hope. And of course, the family is just one group who is grieving the loss of Callie. We're going to bring in our Madison Gaffner here. And Madison, I know you were here at this medical center all day today, speaking with some staff members, getting the information. And really, they had to deal with this loss in their community while also trying to be first responders, too.
Absolutely. When I walked into the hospital, you could feel the rush in the air. People were crying, hands were shaking. But as you said, that those nurses and doctors, they still had to work through that tragedy, a tragedy that they never thought would happen.
Dallas County Medical Center staff started Friday off like any other until the calls began to ring in. One ambulance after another pulled into the facility. Inside were victims of a mass shooting at the Mad Butcher. The hospital staff in shock, but still in action, despite knowing that one of the people killed was one of their own. David Mantes with the medical center said in a statement, "Our team is devastated today as we mourn the loss of one of our dear employees in this senseless event." Mantes also shared with us that they are praying for all those involved and are proud to be able to provide services in time of need. Employees with the day off coming in to help, even retired employees, as the numbers of patients increased. In another statement, Mantes says, "We typically see around 300 patients per month in our ER. This morning, we had 13 gunshot victims roll into our 4-bed ER in about 1.5 hours. He stated this is why rural area medical centers are important for the community, acting urgently and quickly when tragedy hits. The Dallas County Medical Center is now offering in-person mental health counseling as well as telehealth counseling for the victims of families or for anyone in need after this tragedy has hit. I'm Madison Gaffner reporting live here with KARK 4 News in Fordyce. Now back to you.
Madison, thank you. Still to come tonight, those in the community of Fordyce replaying the nightmare of what happened in their small town today.
Reaction from those caught in the crossfire.
Arkansas certified most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Todd Yacobian.
Well, in case you missed it, along the Ashley and Chico County line earlier today, there was one shower which developed, and there was an intense updraft with that shower. It started to rotate a little bit, and it formed into a little bit of a funnel, and it looked like there was a connection to the ground, and that would have had technically called it a land spout. Completely different formation process from a typical tornado, but it's still classified as a tornado. The National Weather Service looked at it, couldn't find any proof that it was on the ground. But anyway, they're going to say it's a funnel, but it caught the attention of a lot of people there. I just want to let you know there's no damage from that, and they rarely ever cause any damage. They're brief this time of the year if they ever do happen, but they can be photogenic just like that one. All right, the forecast for the weekend, hot, slight chance for a shower, thunderstorm. I think the hottest day, Sunday, and the heat index will exceed 105 degrees when that happens. Heat advisories get issued. We may even see some areas have excessive heat warnings coming up Monday and Tuesday. Some places will exceed 110 degrees. Wednesday looks better. Why? Because we've got relief. But until then, just remember this. I know this is typical summertime heat we get in Arkansas all the time, but it's difficult for some. Check on your friends, check on your family, those who are susceptible to heat-related illnesses. It's the #1 weather-related killer, believe it or not, in the United States, more so than tornadoes, floods, hurricanes, lightning, and by a lot. So please take it seriously, stay hydrated. Slight chance for a little bit of release Sunday and Monday, more likely Wednesday. Chance does go up a little bit on Tuesday, but mid and upper 90s. This is the reason why there's a big heat dome. You've heard all about this. It's parked itself across the central United States, but it will not last long. Remember, the circulation around this is clockwise. So it goes off to the western United States. You get the jet stream in that clockwise flow, and it brings in disturbances. That's what happens by the middle of next week. We're going to have a boundary come through and a chance for a few disturbances. Rain chances go up, temperatures go down. So this heat wave, if you even want to call it that, doesn't last but a couple days. So this is what it looks like with the weather, next weather maker and the relief that's on its way. Remember that clockwise flow. So we're going to start to see these showers developing, moving from the northwest to the southeast. So that's Sunday afternoon. That's Monday afternoon, isolated at best. A little bit better coverage on Tuesday, but it's Wednesday, and that's when the frontal boundary starts to get a little bit closer, and we'll see widespread showers and thunderstorms as the frontal boundary moves into the state. Again, around that ridge from the northwest to the southeast. So after that, are we done? No. Unfortunately, it appears that the ridge will start to come back. So by the end of next week, into the following weekend, guess what happens? It gets blazing hot once again. Stay on top of it with us. Watch warning notifications. There could even be a few strong thunderstorms next Wednesday to keep an eye on. Scan that code. Send pictures and videos safely. Also, if you're going to the beach or anywhere like that, you can get the hurricane features with that, but nothing that's going to affect the United States and the Gulf of Mexico, especially anytime soon. 74 tonight, 96 tomorrow, 3 on the Crane impact number, raising it a little bit just because of the heat sensitivity for some people. Take care of yourself. 97 degrees on Sunday, near 100 on Monday, backing down a little bit on Tuesday with a little better chance for rain. Only 90, that's better. Wednesday, and then remember that ridge, it's going to come back, and the temperatures heat right back up. We'll go into the mid-90s and close to 100 degrees once again. KARK 4 News at 10 continues right after the break.
KARK 4 News at 10.
We are continuing to follow the very latest out of Fordyce, where a mass shooting happened earlier today, leaving 3 people dead, multiple others injured.
Gary Burton Jr. joins us live a little bit earlier in the show in Washita County, where the suspect was booked. But earlier today, he was at the scene in Fordyce, outside the grocery store, and had a chance to talk with those in the community.
He has more on their reactions about what happened today.
Over a dozen people shot.
I was like, what?
3 people dead.
I was crying. I was nervous. I was having a breakdown.
At the Mad Butcher grocery store in a town with just a little over 3,000.
I never saw something like this happen in Fordyce, Arkansas.
We don't have to worry about this type of stuff, you know, in our town because it never happened, and then boom.
This community left bruised after bullets, buggies, and bodies were scattered.
Like, I just keep thinking in my head, why?
Amaya Doherty was in the parking lot as the shooter was unloading rounds.
I heard, and he had shot at my mama's car, and it was the tire.
A scene out of a horror movie.
I was praying, holding my sister's hand, because I was scared.
Still can't even believe that it's real.
Fordyce is home to many who host this place near and dear.
I've been here 60 years of my life.
For about a year now.
All my life.
But June 21st will now live as the day this city will never forget.
I wish people would spread more love instead of hating.
We got to come together.
Again, that was Gary Burton Jr. reporting. And of course, this story will be developing throughout the weekend and the coming weeks as we continue to learn more about the victims and the suspect. Be sure to stick with us on air and online at KARK.com for the very latest.
From the state's largest sports team, this is your Pig Trail Nation Report, powered by your Arkansas Select Buick GMC dealers.
Welcome into your Pig Trail Nation Report. It's been an oh-so-busy day 1 in Eugene at the Track and Field Olympic Trials. A total of 36 athletes with ties to Arkansas competing for a spot in Paris over the next week. 8 of those athletes, men and women, running in the first round of the 400-meter today. And on the men's side, Chris Bailey, TJ Tomlanovich, and James Benson all qualifying for Sunday's semifinals. Bailey's 44.86, ranked 3rd overall amongst all competitors on the day. And for the women, those with Razorback ties went 5 for 5, making tomorrow's semis. Kaylin Brown, Rosie F. Young, Alexis Holmes, Paris Peoples, and Shamir Little all qualifying. Holmes is the favorite to win the event. We'll have coverage all week of all the athletes competing in Eugene on social media and our website. Make sure to stay tuned. Switching to gymnastics now, Serena Linton wrapped up a fantastic career this spring, spending her last collegiate season with the gym backs. Now she has her sights set on something a little bit bigger, the WWE. Our Courtney Mims has the story.
What a beautiful beam routine. She stuck that landing.
Serena Linton was in every beam lineup for the Hogs this past season and helped the team punch their ticket to nationals for the first time since 2018. But now that her gymnastics days are over, she's switching it up and trading out the beam for the ring.
Well, Booker, the future is here. The 2024 NIL Clash.
I absolutely love the WWE universe. I love the fans, and I love how bought in they are. So as soon as they reached out, it was like a no-brainer. I honestly didn't think it was possible until I heard that they were recruiting college athletes, and I immediately knew it was something I wanted to do, and it was like a dream that I've always had. I just didn't think it was a reality until then.
Linton named to the WWE's NIL class, which stands for Next in Line, as these athletes could all be superstars in the ring in the near future. So how will a college gymnast make the transition? Linton says there's a lot of similarities, so much so that 2 former college gymnasts have done it before her.
Agility transitions very well our acrobatic style of training, and I think just with my gymnastics background, it helps me to stay quick, stay agile, and have that athleticism that can give me that one up in the ring.
Linton is all in with the new lifestyle, so much so she just got back from training camp at the WWE Performance Facility in Orlando.
The trainers, weights coach, nutrition staff. I mean, they have everything. It's kind of like college 2.0. It's just on a bigger and grander stage.
Her journey in the world of WWE is just getting started. She'll continue to train in Fayetteville and get ready for tryouts, which begin at the end of July.
That is going to be the final test for me to see if I'm going to be able to handle this, and I know that I have it in me. I know that I have everything capable. I just have to continue to put in the work, and I know that no one will outwork me, and I'm ready to take that contract and move to Orlando.
And that's not all. According to Linton, she says she's ready to, quote,
be in the ring and kick some butt while I'm doing it.
Reporting for the Pig Trail, I'm Courtney Mims.
Just an awesome story. Thanks so much, Courtney. That's going to do it for your Pig Trail Nation report. One last look at your weather coming up after the break.
Watching KARK4 News at 10.
Hot. A warm one on tap.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Bob. It's hot.
Call it an expression.
Going into the upper 90s, small chance for shower thunderstorm. In all honesty, let's watch Wednesday. I don't think the severe weather threat is all that great, but when you have a hot air mass like that in the front coming through, it has to be watched for some high winds.
All right, Todd. Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.